Sigourney Weaver, born Susan Alexandra Weaver, October 8, 1949, is an American actress and film producer. Following her film debut as a minor character in Annie Hall, 1977, she quickly came to prominence in 1979 with her first lead role as Ellen Ripley in Alien. She reprised the role in 3 sequels, Aliens, 1986, for which she was nominated for the Academy Award Best Actress, Alien 3, 1992, and Alien, Resurrection, 1997. She is also known for her starring roles in the box office hits Ghostbusters, 1984, Ghostbusters 2, 1989, and Avatar, 2009. Weaver was nominated for a Drama Desk Award for the 1980 off-Broadway play Das Lusitania Songspiel, and received a Tony Award nomination for the 1984 Broadway play Herr Lieberli. A 7-time Golden Globe Award nominee, she won both Best Actress in Drama and Best Supporting Actress for her work in the 1988 films Gorillas in the Mist and Working Girl, becoming the first person to win 2 acting Golden Globes in the same year. She also received Academy Award nominations for both films. For her role in the 1997 film The Ice Storm, she won the BAFTA Award for Best Actress in a Supporting Role. Additionally, she has received 3 Emmy Award nominations and won 2 Saturn Awards. Weaver acquired the nickname of the Sci-Fi Queen for her numerous contributions to science fiction film history, including minor roles in successful works such as Futurama, 2002, Wall-E, 2008, Paul, 2011, and The Cabin in the Woods, 2012. Her other films include The Year of Living Dangerously, 1983, Dave, 1993, Death and the Maiden, 1994, Copycat, 1995, A Map of the World, 1999, Galaxy Quest, 1999, and Prayers for Bobby, 2009. In 2013, she returned to Broadway to star in Vanya and Sonia and Masha and Spike. Early life. Weaver was born in Manhattan, New York City, the daughter of Elizabeth Inglis, née Desiree Mary Lucy Hawkins, 1913 to 2007, an actress, and the NBC television executive and television pioneer Sylvester Pat Weaver, 1908 to 2002. Her uncle, Doodles Weaver, 1911 to 1983, was a comedian and actor. Her mother was English, from Colchester, Essex, and her father, who was American, had English, Scottish, and Ulster Scots ancestry, including roots in New England. Weaver began using the name Sigourney Weaver in 1963 after a minor character, Sigourney Howard, in F. Scott Fitzgerald's novel The Great Gatsby. Weaver attended the Ethel Walker School, a girls' preparatory school in Simsbury, Connecticut. She also attended the Chapin School and the Brearley School. Sigourney was reportedly 5'10.5", 179 centimeters, tall by the age of 14, although she only grew another inch during her teens to her adult height of 5'11.5", 182 centimeters. In 1967, at the age of 18, Weaver visited Israel and volunteered on a kibbutz for several months. Weaver attended Sarah Lawrence College as well as Stanford University, where she first began her involvement in acting, by living in Stanford's co-ed Beta Chi community for the performing arts. Weaver earned her Master of Fine Arts degree at the Yale University School of Drama in 1974, where one of her appearances was in the chorus in a production of Stephen Sondheim's musical version of The Frogs, and another was as one of a mob of Roman soldiers alongside Meryl Streep in another production. Weaver later acted in original plays by her friend and classmate Christopher Durang. She later appeared in an off-Broadway production of Durang's comedy Beyond Therapy in 1981, which was directed by the up-and-coming director Jerry Zaks. Film career. Weaver's first role is often said to be in Woody Allen's 1977 comedy Annie Hall, playing a minor role opposite Allen. Weaver appeared 2 years later as Warrant Officer, Lieutenant Ellen Ripley in Ridley Scott's blockbuster 1979 film Alien, in a role initially designated to co-star Veronica Cartwright. Until a late change in casting, she reprised the role in the 3 sequels of the Alien movie franchise, Aliens, Alien 3 and Alien, Resurrection. Tiber of the Boston Globe states, "One of the real pleasures of Alien is to watch the emergence of both Ellen Ripley as a character and Sigourney Weaver as a star." In the sequel Aliens, directed by James Cameron, critic Roger Ebert wrote, "Weaver, who is on screen almost all the time, comes through with a very strong, sympathetic performance. She's the thread that holds everything together." Weaver followed the success of Alien, appearing opposite Mel Gibson in The Year of Living Dangerously, released to critical acclaim, and as Dana Barrett in Ghostbusters and Ghostbusters 2. By the end of the decade, Weaver appeared in 2 of her most memorable and critically acclaimed performances. In 1988, she starred as Diane Fossey in Gorillas in the Mist. The same year she appeared opposite Harrison Ford in a supporting supporting role as Catherine Parker in the film Working Girl. Weaver won Golden Globe Awards for Best Actress and Best Supporting Actress for her two roles that year. She received 2 Academy Award nominations in 1988, for Best Supporting Actress for her role in Working Girl and Best Actress for Gorillas in the Mist, making her one of the few actors nominated for 2 acting awards in the same year. She gave the birth to her daughter Charlotte Simpson, born on April 13, 1990, taking a few years break from the movie business and focusing on her family. She returned to the big screen in 1992 with Alien 3 and Ridley Scott's 1492, Conquest of Paradise, in which she played role of Queen Isabella. In the early 1990s, Weaver appeared in several films including Dave opposite Kevin Kline and Frank Langella. In 1994 she starred in Roman Polanski's drama Death and the Maiden as Paulina Escobar. She played the role of agoraphobic criminal psychologist Helen Hudson in the 1995 movie Copycat. Weaver also concentrated on smaller and supporting roles throughout the decade, such as Jeffrey, 1994, Ang Lee's The Ice Storm, 1997, earning her another Golden Globe nomination for Best Supporting Actress and winning a BAFTA award, followed by Galaxy Quest, 1999, and A Map of the World, 1999, earning her another Golden Globe nomination for Best Actress. In 2001, she appeared in the comedy Heartbreakers, playing the lead role of a con artist alongside Jennifer Love Hewitt, Ray Liotta, Gene Hackman and Anne Bancroft. She appeared in several films throughout the decade including Holes, 2003, the M. Night Shyamalan horror film The Village, 2004, Vantage Point, 2008, and Baby Mama, 2008. Weaver also returned to Rwanda for the BBC special Gorillas Revisited. She was voted 20th in Channel 4's countdown of the 100 greatest movie stars of all time, being one of only 2 women in the top 20. The other was Audrey Hepburn. In 2009, Weaver starred as Mary Griffith in her first made-for-TV movie, Prayers for Bobby, for which she was nominated for an Emmy Award, Golden Globe Award, and Screen Actors Guild Award. She also guest-starred in the TV show Eli Stone in the fall of 2008. She reunited with Aliens director James Cameron for his 2009 film Avatar, with Weaver playing a major part as Dr. Grace Augustine, leader of the Avatar program on the film's fictional moon Pandora. Weaver has done voice work in television and film. She had a guest role in the Futurama episode Love and Rocket in February 2002, playing the female Planet Express ship. In 2006, she was the narrator for the American version of the Emmy Award-winning series Planet Earth. Also in 2006, Weaver narrated A Matter of Degrees, a short film that plays daily at the Natural History Museum of the Adirondacks, the Wild Center, in Tupper Lake, New York. In 2008, Weaver was featured as the voice of the ship's computer in the Pixar and Disney release, Wall-E. She also voiced a narrating role in another computer-animated film, 2008's The Tale of Despero, based on the novel by Kate DiCamillo. Weaver has hosted 2 episodes of the long-running NBC sketch show Saturday Night Live, once on the 12th season premiere in 1986, and again, on a season 35 episode in January 2010. In March 2010, she was cast for the lead role as Queen of the Vampires in Amy Heckerling's Vamps. She was honored at the 2010 Scream Awards, earning the Heroine Award, which honored her work in science fiction, horror and fantasy films. In May 2010, there were reports that Weaver had been cast for the lead role Margaret Matheson in the Spanish thriller film Red Lights. In September 2011, it was confirmed that Weaver will be returning to Avatar 2, with James Cameron stating that no one ever dies in science fiction. In 2014, he revealed that she would be featured in all 3 sequels. In 2014, Weaver reprised the role of Ripley for the first time in 17 years by voicing the character in the video game Alien: Isolation. Her character will appear in 2 DLCs set during the events of Alien, with most of the original cast voicing their respective characters. Weaver appeared in the 2014 film Exodus: Gods and Kings, playing Tuya, directed by Ridley Scott, alongside Christian Bale, Joel Edgerton, and Ben Kingsley. In 2015, she co-starred in Neil Blomkamp's science fiction film Chappie, and stated that she would agree to appear in an Alien sequel, provided that Blomkamp directs. On February 18, 2015, it was officially announced that an Alien sequel will be made, with Blomkamp slated to direct. On February 25, 2015, Weaver confirmed that she would reprise her role as Ellen Ripley in the new Alien film. Personal life. Weaver has been married to the stage director Jim Simpson since October 1, 1984. They have one daughter, Charlotte Simpson, who was born on April 13, 1990. After making Gorillas in the Mist, the story of Dian Fossey, she became a supporter of the Dian Fossey Gorilla Fund and is now its honorary chairwoman. She was honored by the Explorers Club for this work. Weaver is considered to be an environmentalist. In October 2006, she drew international attention through a news conference at the start of a United Nations General Assembly policy deliberation. She outlined the widespread threat to ocean habitats posed by deep-sea trawling, an industrial method for harvesting fish. On April 8, 2008, she hosted the annual gala of the Trickle Up program, a non-profit organization focusing on those in extreme poverty, mainly women and the disabled, in the Rainbow Room. She is a longtime friend of Jamie Lee Curtis. In their 2015 interview together, Curtis admitted to Weaver she never saw Alien entirely, because she was too scared. She's fluent in French. Accolades. Weaver has been nominated 3 times for an Academy Award, 3 BAFTAs, 1 win, and 7 Golden Globes, 2 wins. She has also earned Tony and Drama Desk nominations for her work on the stage, filmography, film, television, documentaries, video games, audiobooks, stage credits. 1971, Better Dead Than Sorry, Yale Cabaret, as Jenny. 1972, Story Theater, Williamstown Theater Festival. 1972, Sarah B. Devine, Williamstown Theater Festival, as Anita, the Eternal Maid. 1972, The Resistible Rise of Arturo Ui, Williamstown Theater Festival, as Doc Daisy. 1972, The Rat Trap, Williamstown Theater Festival, as Cynthia Muldoon. 1972, Once in a Lifetime, Williamstown Theater Festival, as Flora Bell Lee. 1972, The Elephant Calf, Williamstown Theater Festival. 1973, The Tempest, Yale Repertory Theater. 1973-74, Watergate Classics, Yale Repertory Theater. 1974, Rise and Fall of the City of Mahogany, Yale University Theater. 1974, The Nature and Purpose of the Universe, Direct Theater, as Eleanor, Workshop Production. 1974, The Frogs, Yale Repertory Theater, as member of the Choras. 1975, The Constant Wife, Schubert Theater, understudy, as Marie-Louise Durham. 1976, Titanic, Direct Theater, as Lydia, Annabella, Harriet. 1976, Das Lusitania Songspiel, Van Damme Theater. 1976, Gemini, Playwright's Horizons, as Judith Hastings. 1977, Marco Polo Sings a Solo, Public, Newman Theater, as Freitas. 1978, Conjuring an Event, American Place Theater, as Annabella. 1978, A Flea in Her Ear, Hartford Stage. 1979, New Jerusalem, Public Theater. 1980, Das Lusitania Songspiel, New Version, Westside Theater. Also co-authored the play with Christopher Durang. 1981, Beyond Therapy, Phoenix Theater, as Prudence. 1981, As You Like It, Dallas Festival of Shakespeare, as Rosalind. 1982, Animal Kingdom, Berkshire Festival, as Cecelia Henry. 1983, Old Times, Williamstown Theater Festival, as Anna. 1984-85, Hurly Burly, Ethel Barrymore Theater, as Darlene. 1986, A Streetcar Named Desire, Williamstown Theater Festival, as Stella Kowalski. 1986-87, The Merchant of Venice, Classic Stage Company, as Portia. 1988, The Show Off, Williamstown Theater Festival, as Clara. 1996, Sex and Longing, Court Theater, as Lulu. 2001 To the Guys, The Flea Theater, as Joan. 2002, The Mercy Seat, Acorn Theater, as Abby Prescott. 2004, Mrs. Farnsworth, The Flea Theater, as Marjorie Farnsworth. 2007, Crazy Mary, Playwright's Horizons, as Lydia. 2007, Love Letters, The Flea Theater, Single Benefit Performance, as Melissa Gardner. 2008, Love Letters, The Detroit Film Theater, Single Benefit Performance, as Melissa Gardner. 2012-2013, Vanya and Sonia and Masha and Spike, Mitzi E. Newhouse Theater, as Masha. Soundtrack discography.